Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? My name is WaveViper, sweltering in my room once again to make you guys a video about why I no longer play Hive Skywars. So, for some of you who were around at the start, you may know that I really only played Hive Skywars on this channel up until I came back, actually. Whenever I came back, I only played Hypixel, and I only have played Hypixel. I think I've only done Skywars on this channel. We're gonna have to change that, man. But you guys might be wondering, why did you leave Hive Skywars? Because I obviously played it a ton, and if you go back and look at these videos, which I have them up in the card section. If you can't see the cards, I'll have it in the description below, so you can check out all my crappy Skywars videos I used to make. But I used to play it a ton. Like, that was my entire channel, practically, was me playing Hive Skywars. Like, I had Saturdays were like Hive Skywars challenges, and then Mondays were like whatever game I felt like doing. So I did like one in the chamber or something. But besides the point, some of you might be wondering, since I played Hive Skywars so much, why did I give it up to go to Hypixel? Like, why did I decide Hypixel Skywars was better? And that's what I wanted to discuss today. Now, no hatred to Hive. I think they have some really cool and creative things going for them. But these are the main things that really offset me against wanting to play it. So, firstly, balance. And by balance, I don't mean, like, balance of the gear. Like, someone has, like, leather armor and someone has full diamond. That's not what I mean. By balance, I mean distance between the islands, because Skywars at its heart is a PvP game, which means I actually want to see another player and be able to hit them. If I can't see them and hit them, that's kind of no longer a PvP game for me as much as a camp on your island and shoot them off in one shot with a bow game, which sort of was what I felt like Hive Skywars ended up landing at. Like, you really have to bridge for like 3 years to get anywhere. I mean, it's like, I think 20, 30, I'm not even sure how many blocks it is at this point. I think it's like 30 or so blocks to between islands and to the middle. So essentially that whole time you're exposing yourself to the other 12 players, well, 11 players. I can do math. You're exposing yourself to all these other players in the round, and they all can pretty easily shoot you off. I mean, let's be real here. It's not that hard to shoot a Minecraft bow. Once you get a little bit of experience, it's pretty easy. And you can get a lot of shots on people if, you know, they're having to bridge 40 blocks. I mean, they have to keep coming back. So because of that, I felt like it encouraged people to camp a lot. And a lot of people did camp in Hive Skywars. That was just a fact. You would always have, like, the last person, if you went to middle, would be on their island still sitting there, still mining it out. And honestly, that is extremely frustrating. So keeping with the idea of balance, there was one other thing I felt was really unbalanced on the Hive, and that was ender pearls, which ender pearls are so hard to get on the Hive. Like, you would go to mid, and there's this ender chest there, and essentially it refills like every 5 minutes, and rounds can go a maximum of 30 minutes, and sometimes you would sit at the middle for like 15 minutes to get 3 ender pearls and then instantly ender pearl off the map, which is more a problem with me than with the game, but also a problem with the distance, because it's harder to ender pearl if it's like 40 blocks away, you know, the island you want to go to. But the thing for me was, because ender pearls are so hard to get, and because islands are so far spaced apart, it's just frustrating, because, I mean, I don't really get to play the game. I end up sitting like for half the game at middle, and the other half the game I spend bowing people off the map. So I'm not saying that Hive Skywars is a bad game mode. I think it has a lot of creative and cool things going for it. It's just that for me, because Hypixel islands are closer together, it's easier to PvP players in it, because, I mean, you're right next to each other, and you pretty often get ender pearls from mid, if not always, but at least you can get it within 5-10 minutes, and you don't have to sit for 15 minutes at middle waiting for ender pearls. But because of that, I feel like Hypixel Skywars is a better game mode than Hive Skywars. Now, I want to briefly say that I think Hive Skywars could fix this by adding in like a teleportation block, or making ender pearls easier to get, like having a second refill and maybe refilling everywhere with ender pearls. I don't know. I don't have the full solution, but I think Hive Skywars has a lot of potential if they made ender pearls more common, or if they brought bridging closer together. So briefly, at the end, I wanted to discuss my other reason, which is ping. So if you guys don't know, I live in America, which means that my ping to the Hive is like 100-something milliseconds. So I think it's like 130. And that is a bit frustrating when 90% of the people in Europe that you play, like in SG, can GG10 you because their ping is like 5. So I have like a 60 or 30 ping to Hypixel. It's like somewhere in that range, probably like 45. Because that's right in between. But I have a decent ping to Hypixel, so I feel like, at least for me personally, it's easier to play Hypixel Skywars without getting destroyed by people who have like 9 times better ping than I do. So that personally is why I've moved over to Hypixel. Not saying I'll never play Hive again. Maybe I will someday, but for the moment, that's why I sit where I am. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, maybe you'd like to watch one of those Hive videos I just talked about, and I have a playlist of them on the screen right now. I did Hive Skywars challenges, so essentially I challenged myself to do something stupid around and then go on with it for about 15 minutes. I'd recommend that you find the one you think the challenge is most interesting in and just watch that one video. And don't judge me for my commentary, please. Please.